Okay, new week, new pesukim. And this is a doublet, I believe. You could say it goes with also pesukim 6, 7, and 8, but I think we'll treat them separately unless forced otherwise. Okay. Al tiga laha'ashir mi binasacha chadal hata'if enecha bo ve'enenu ki aso ya'aseh lo knafayim k'nesher ya'uf hashamayim. Okay. What do you say?
Don't touch.
So that would be with nun gimel ayin. This is a short yud gimel ayin, like yagia or yagea. That's how I have yagea.
Toil, grow, or be weary.
Oh yes, I put that here. Yeah, you're right. Do not weary yourself or toil. Let's say toil. Do not toil lahashir to become rich. This is a little funny to translate.
From your lacking understanding.
Well, chadal is close. Chadal is to cease or desist. Do I have that here also? Let's see. Yeah, cease. So how would you translate that? It's
from your ceased understanding.
Mibinascha chadal.
From your understanding.
From your understanding.
It will cease.
Chadal is a tzibui.
Oh, cease.
Cease. Okay. Yeah. Cease. Okay. Then hata'if, you came here just when we got to the bird part of the pasuk. Hata'if enecha bo ve'enenu. So this is a funny one, right? Hata'if is the same shorish as oaf, but I think that's more for the pun.
Like fly?
Yeah, it's a fly, yeah. Hata'if enecha bo ve'enenu. This is difficult to translate. I don't even know how to translate it.
Like having your eyes fly away from it.
That's what it sounds like, right? Yeah, I don't know what the
like,
grammatical form of.
Like to blink and it's gone.
Yeah, right. That's definitely the sense that it's giving you. I just don't know the hata'if. I don't know how to conjugate that. So if you, I'm gonna take a stab here. If you fly your eyes from it, it won't be there, right? It won't be there. We'll see how the English translates. It won't be there. Ki aso ya'aseh lo kanafayim. Yeah, it will surely make wings for itself. Okay, now here's the real test, right? What is a nesher in biblical Hebrew?
Eagle.
That's the peasant understanding. No, what kind of vulture?
Turkey vulture.
Griffin vulture. This is one of the first things I ever saw from Rabbi Slifkin.
Yeah, I love Rabbi Slifkin.
Yeah, right. I think he's the one who popularized it. So I'll just read the first part of this article here. One of the most famous birds in the Torah is the nesher, the king of the birds. Although many assume that this is the eagle, and some of the commentaries have identified it as such, the identity of the nesher is in fact not at all straightforward. As we shall see, it seems more likely that this refers to a vulture, specifically the griffin vulture. This spectacular bird has a wingspan that can measure 8 feet and is the most magnificent bird of prey in Israel. Rav Sadion translates nesher with the Arabic term nesser, clearly related, which refers to the griffin vulture. Ibn Ezra does the same, noting that the Arabic language provides good evidence for the identity of the bird. Contemporary scholars in the field of biblical zoology have likewise concluded that the griffin vulture is the nesher. Okay, so that's his shita, yeah.
Griffin vulture is kind of redundant. In a way, griffins and vultures are like different things. It's your Asian griffin.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask questions on names. I think people who name things don't always know what they're naming. Yeah, you can ask questions on species names, but okay. So what do you call it? Knesher. I also think it's important for English speakers to differentiate, because if we say vulture, what do you picture?
Turkey vulture, black vulture.
Yeah, right. You picture like the vultures in cartoons that are like feasting on carrion, which I don't know how these are different, but like definitely majestic is not the thing that comes to mind when you think like like the bird equivalent of the hyenas in not Lord of the Lions, in Lion King. Yeah. Okay.
There are vultures in Lion King.
Oh yeah. They talk?
Song. Yeah, they have a song. Unless I'm thinking of Ice Age, because
I think you're thinking of the hyenas.
I'll look at it after.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
That might be right.
I think there's
really okay.
When the two cubs are lost. I'm almost positive.
Okay, interesting. We'll find out. Okay, Knesher Ya'uf Hashemayim, like a griffon vulture that flies heaven. I think heavenward, in the heaven or heavenward. Probably heavenward probably makes more sense. Heavenward, right? Because it's flying away, right?
Yeah.
It's not like just always up there. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Scientific facts to toss in here. If
Yeah.
Anything. Also, when a lot of vultures fly is not via flapping, or they flap minimally. They do a lot of soaring where they're just like coasting and cruising.
Interesting.
So that's an old helpless. It's not
Okay.
it's a very effortless flying.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Soars heavenward.
Does what?
That soars heavenward.
Soars heavenward? Sure.
Ooh.
Soars heavenward. Okay.
Soar your eyes from it.
Yeah, I don't think that works quite as well. Okay. Oh, Nasr, yeah, Griffin Vulture. Oh, so the BDB also says from the Assyrian Nasru and Nishra and Vulture. Okay. Yeah.
BDB.
The BDB is the, I always have to look it up to not confuse it with the personality test. This is the Briggs, sorry, Brown Driver Briggs Hebrew Dictionary. Yeah. What's the personality test?
Myers-Briggs.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah,
Yeah.
different, slightly different. Which shorish type do you correlate to? Okay. Yeah. All right. So that is the Nesher. Okay. So let's see what the what our minimalist commentators have. Yeah. Is it Tiga? Yeah. Tiga is from Lashon Yagia, so exertion, not from Naga, which is touching or reaching. And it is confusing, by the way, because Yagia can also, I think, in certain things come from Naga. Yeah, like Higia. Yeah. Like if you say like, like Hu Yagia el so like he arrived at his place. But yeah. Hata'if milashon afifa utenua. Oh, so it means like flying and movement. Okay, so a little bit broader than flying. Okay, Sadion. Oh, so just we have to ask this question here. Anything strike you as funny about this phrase?
No. Yeah. Why do you not want to understand?
Yeah, it sounds like it's saying cease from your understanding, right? But there's another way to read it.
Like cease because you understand.
Yeah, cease because you understand. So I think I don't know if all the Mepharshim take that way, but let's see. Sadion says Altika b'vakashecha laha'ashir. Do not oops, sorry, that's Metzudas. Okay, Sadigon says, do not weary yourself in your quest to become wealthy. Okay, so he's bakasha. I don't think bakasha here means request. I think it means in your like seeking to become rich. Chadal mi binascha zu. Oh, so that's slightly different also, right? I think. Well, how's he saying? How's the adding of the word zu or zo change things?
Your understanding of the richness.
So you could say that, but maybe I'm just making the assumption that he adds in the two words like to both arrive at one meaning. Anyone else want to take a stab at that? I think he means cease from your understanding which you employ for this. In other words, there's a certain amount of binah that you're going to be directing towards the quest to become rich. Cease from that involvement in binah. Okay. Okay. Then ki'ad shata ma'if einechabo. Once you, you know what? There's a word. I don't know if I got this from the English. I think is there a word alight as a verb?
Yeah.
Light. Maybe that doesn't mean what I think it is. Nope, to descend from of a bird, descend from the air and settle. It's possible I got this from one of the English translations that we'll see. Once you, not that this makes sense. I was gonna say once you alight your eyes upon it. I was trying to find like a word, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Once you, before you flap your eyes on it, before you move your eyes, right? He says, what?
Flit.
Flit, okay. You flit your eyes upon it.
Once before, just before.
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Before you flit your eyes upon it, behold, enenu, it is not there. Ella yaselo kanafim kanesha uflashraim, but rather it has made wings for itself, etc. Okay, I think that last part's the same. Okay. Yeah. Targum lo tikrav la atira. Do not approach. That's interesting. Tikrav. No. So tikrav is, I think, like to approach.
Yeah.
But I don't know in Aramaic if it has a different meaning. Let's just check it up in the Yastro. Marcus Yastro. What does Marcus say? Because the only thing also is krav also means to wage war in Aramaic, right? So I don't know if krav. Inside insteel or intestine. Nope. Hostile contact or attack, wage war. Krava, right? So I don't know what this means here. Altikrav atira. Like it might mean don't fight to become rich. Like that's because it's Yagi is to exert yourself. So let's just say that. Okay, do not fight to become rich. Ella or latira for wealth. For wealth. Ella mibiuntach prakmine. So I think that's the way I translated earlier. Rather
from your understanding, you should separate from it.
Yeah, understand from. Hold on.
With understanding.
Yeah, desist from it based on your understanding. Based on your understanding, right? Because mem can mean from or because of. All right. Indeed. Titzar inach be lo mischazelach. Okay, I think if you fix your eyes upon it, you will not see it. Mitul means key. Demebad aved le gapafa hech nishra detayas bishmak. I think that's just a literal translation. Okay. All right. Now English translations here say, do not weary yourself to become rich, forbear from your own understanding. Another animal reference. I'm just kidding. Cease from your own understanding. You cast your eyes upon wealth. Cast is good. So it's like a rapid motion. You cast your eyes upon wealth and it is gone, for it makes itself wings for itself. And like an eagle, it soars to the heavens. Living Knox says, do not toil to become rich, desist of your own understanding. Yeah, that's a good way to translate it in the same, sparseness as the Hebrew. Blink your eye and it is gone. That's what you said, right?
I said flip.
Oh, I thought you earlier you said that.
So that was like the
in blink of an eye, right? Yeah, it is gone in blink of an eye for sure. Yeah, actually, I'm going to change ours to that. Blink your eye and it is gone for surely. It surely makes wings for itself and flies heavenward like an eagle. Do not strain to become rich. That's also good. Through your understanding, leave off. Let your eyes but fly over it. It is gone. Oh, that's also good. Let your eyes but fly over it, and it is gone. For it will surely sprout wings like an eagle, fly off to the heavens. And then Alter says here, through your understanding, leave off. Though the Hebrew is a bit cryptic, this may be the most plausible construction. Through your understanding, use your good sense not to strive excessively for wealth. Fox, he always references Fox. I think it's a modern translator. Understands this as leave off your staring, but the constructing noun binah as staring is somewhat strained, even though you had a pun there because it says strain later. Even though the cognate verb sometimes means to consider or regard over it, and antecedent is the implied noun wealth, right? I think we all understood that it's talking about wealth. Okay, so let's just copy paste this and then modify it. Whew, okay, that was a workout there. Okay, so do not toil. I also like strain to become rich. From your understanding, cease. Okay, I'm gonna preserve the ambiguity there. If you what were the good ones we liked?
Blink.
If you blink, yeah. And what was the other art? Oh, you cast your eyes upon it. Yeah. The only thing I blink your eye and it is gone doesn't imply you're doing anything with your eyes on it. And I think because hata'if einecha bo, I think we need to preserve that. So if you cast your eyes, let's put it this way. If you cast your eyes upon it, it will be gone. It will be gone. And then we'll put in brackets in the blink of an eye. I know that's not really, and we're trying for it will surely make wings for itself, like driven vulture, the source heavenward. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just to clarify what I was saying is, if you cast your eyes upon it as being hata'if in that thumbnail,
yeah.
Okay, you're casting your eyes upon it as like you at that moment you are looking at it.
Yeah, I think so that's where you also get side you going, because he's saying, okay, if you just read it literally, and if you go with the Metzudas David, which says that ta'if means tenua, to move. Once you move your eyes to it, then it will go. Or Sadigon said before your eyes get to it, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not once you
No, it's once you look at it. Yeah.
It's not once you look at it.
I was thinking the other way.
It's like the I don't know. I can make a obscure reference here. Okay. All right. All right. What do we ask here?
This doesn't sound very Mishlei at all.
Well, it only doesn't sound Mishlei if it says
don't toil to become.
Okay, yeah, right. So this is why I alluded to this in the description, right? So and I realized I didn't record. Someone asked me about Koheles and Mishlei after shiur.
I did after.
Yeah, that was after shiur, right? So I didn't say this on the recording, so I'm going to say it now, right? Which is, so my understanding of, oh, you know what? I meant to find this also. Hold on. Stop this. Share screen. 9 stages. So let's. This is when I animate the whole 9 stages of Koheles that a person goes through.
Oh.
But what I'm looking for. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what I'm looking for. That's the Triforce. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my my mashal for understanding the relationship between Mishlei, Koheles, shiur, and Torah. So I had to teach this to my my high schoolers who didn't know any better, except a few of the nerdier ones. So, oops, there we go. This is the Triforce, which is a sacred relic that appears throughout Nintendo's Legend of Zelda series. Also, word Triforce can refer to one of the 3 parts of the Triforce. Okay, so the Triforce of Chachma. Okay, so you have Torah is in the middle because that is the core, and Shlomo wrote his books all to because people weren't able to access Torah. So that's the whole genre of what I call Mishlei, which is the mashalim about Mishlei, about how Shlomo's method of Mishlei functions. On the 2 bottom parts of the Triforce, you have Mishlei and Koheles, okay, and on the top you have shiur. Okay. So Torah is the ultimate system for living a life of chachma. That's the definition of Torah from the Rambag, is a regimen that brings those who practice it properly to true human success, which is knowledge of God to the extent that that's humanly possible. Okay, that's Torah. Mishlei is using chachma as a means to fulfill one's desires, and Koheles is chachma as the end to be desired. And what I mean by that is that, so this is my theory, which is going to be refuted by our pasuk, or which is going to be questioned by our pasuk, is that Koheles is basically about how if you try. Basically, he takes all of the things that people pursue to get happiness, and she shows how that's not going to make them happy. And he ends off by saying, "Sof davar hakol nishma es elukimi rav es mitzvosau shmor ki zeh kol adam," which is that fear of God and the regimen of Torah, which are the regimen of Chachma, that is the only thing that is the sum of man. You know, that's the end of man. All your other pursuits are going to be futile, are going to be hevel. And really, even if you pursue Torah in the wrong way and you pursue Chachma in the wrong way, that's also going to be hevel. Okay, it has to be in line with Torah. So that's Koheles' conclusion. So Koheles will actively discourage you from pursuing a lot of things. Okay, and it doesn't talk about how to do anything. All right, Mishlei is the opposite. Mishlei does not typically discourage your pursuits. And that's why you'll find in the introductory 9 chapters of Mishlei, they'll say like, if you pursue Mishlei, you're going to get kavod and osher and prominence and power. So it'll say, you want wealth, go ahead and pursue it, but here's how to do it as a chacham, not as a fool. Oh, you want kavod, this is how you do it as a tzaddik, not as a rasha. Okay, and then ultimately what happens is so what you do is you spend your days. Is it oscillating or vacillating? I always forget what the difference is. Oscillating between, what does vacillating mean? I know oscillating is the mode that you put the fan on, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I can remember it. Yeah.
Is like lack of consistency.
Okay, fine. So oscillating, so deliberately going back and forth between Mishlei and Koheles is you basically like I think you start with Mishlei and you become attached to Chachma as a way to fulfill your desires, but then eventually you apply Chachma to questioning your ends, like what is my whole life about? And then that's when you have the rude awakening from Koheles. And then that kind of shifts what your values are, or like what your life orientation is. And then you go back to pursuing the means and cultivating them through the Mishlei until you need another jolt of Koheles. And you keep going back and forth until you eventually realize that Chachma itself is enjoyable, and your life becomes revolves around not just Chachma as like the only thing that is not an illusion, but Chachma as a way of like an active good that you're pursuing as an enjoyment and as a state of being, and that's what shiur is about. So shiur comes after you do the other 2, and so that's the relationship between the 3. Okay, so how does our pasuk pose problems for that? Because it's telling you seemingly don't pursue wealth, right? let's go back to our thingy here. Yeah, seemingly it's saying, don't pursue wealth. And this does go against the rest of Mishlei because there's tons of pesukim in Mishlei that talk about how to get wealth, right? So how do we reconcile pasuk Dalid with all the other pesukim in Mishlei, and the derech of Mishlei as a whole, which encourage you to pursue wealth through chachma and binah? Yeah.
Question of the premise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What?
Okay, we have a first question. Question the premise there.
Yes.
Okay, I mean that does seem to be supposing like if you're like take away the word tiga, but I do think there is what to think
Yeah,
about.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the approach you're gonna have to take. Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
point it out also.
Okay. So what does tiga mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asking.
What is the difference between yagia lahashir and stam like lahashir? Okay, right. Yeah, that's gonna be an answer to that. By the way, I also want to point out that this is bad methodology. I only am including this because I put it in the summary of the thing. Like, really, you shouldn't approach this pasuk from necessarily from like other pesukim. You should look at it on its own. But I think it's excusable because there are so many pesukim in Mishlei about like how to make wealth that this is almost not coming from other specific pesukim. It's coming from like Mishlei as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, so next question I would say would be, how is the ceasing affecting the toiling, the straining, or the reaching? And assuming that you're using understanding to cease,
Yeah.
right? So like, how is the understanding helping you cease?
Yeah.
And in the other interpretation, why are you ceasing?
Okay. So I'm going to start with a broad one, which is what is the relationship between the two halves of pasuk Daled? Okay. If you are using your understanding to cease from yigia lahashir. Okay, how? And if say again, if you are using your understanding to be yigia lahashir, then how do you cease?
No, and if you're ceasing from understanding, then
You
why?
okay? If you're ceasing from understanding, then why?
It's very ambiguous.
The pasuk or my question?
The question, if you were ceasing from understanding what? Is that like part of the question, or is that just?
That's part of the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Then why and from what points? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So the question of when you're casting your eyes upon it, what is it?
Yeah. So I think I'll put that question. I haven't been through all the Mefarshim, but I do think that it is, because this is an interesting thing. I was gonna say I think everyone holds that it's wealth, but the funny thing also is the pasuk doesn't actually identify a noun.
Well, there could be toiling.
Yeah, I don't know if it could be toiling
Why not?
because it could be, but Yigia is feminine and Osher is masculine, and this is masculine. Yeah, all right, I'll put the question anyway. What is the bow in pasuk? Hey, yeah, Ezra.
Why this imagery?
Yeah, why this bird imagery? I know to David, it's a question. Why not use bird imagery for everything? That's really a question. All the other pesukim. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the cause and effect mechanism between casting your eyes upon it and
Yeah.
it being gone?
Okay.
And if it's gone, then what are you casting? Like what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like you see something and then you cast your eyes on it and now it's gone. Like
Yeah.
seems like if you, right.
Right. Between the monkey meme. Between casting your eyes upon it and it being gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It's the double sort of thing.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
Also, I guess we have to ask here, how does it make wings
Yeah.
for itself and fly away Yeah, let's just say what. Yeah, I mean, let's do this. What is the bird mushal? Okay, how does it make wings for itself and fly away? And then why use this mushal?
Yeah.
Also, like, why use that word in? Like, birds already have wings, don't they?
Well, at some point they didn't.
Oh,
no, yeah.
Like, okay.
It's a good question.
It's not a bird.
But it is gonna make wings for itself.
That's a strange
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why
so
use that
let's-
wings
yeah.
for itself?
Yeah, Sean.
It seems to be a natural phenomenon from the muscles. Like, what is the natural phenomenon?
Yeah.
Right,
It's very strange.
yeah. What is that process of growing wings? Yeah. Okay. It is funny that this is, despite the questions, this is a fairly straightforward pasuk to think about. I feel like we just have to like figure out the bird thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
Which also, when we say Yahoo Hashemayim, are we being particular?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's flying to the sky or just like flying away? It
Yeah.
also is, just insofar as I
What
say,
does-
flying to the sky, like it's visible, it's just out of reach versus like just flying away means it's gone.
Yeah. What does Yaakov Hashemai mean?
Oh, yeah. does that mean
That it
heavenward or does that
flies.
mean
It
skyward?
soars. Is that also a Zelda game reference?
Skyward? No,
Skyward Sword?
that's- No.
No.
It's not that one.
It sounds like if it is.
Skyward is a Brandon Sanderson book though.
Oh. It's hold on.
And Skyrim.
I just have to look this. This is gonna bother me all of year. Yeah, Zelda Skyward. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
it is.
you're right.
Okay, yeah. I never played it, but I know from the music. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. That soars sky. So we have to use the word. Well, that soars skyward, or that it soars in the sky.
Mhm.
Right. Those are the two possibilities.
Oh yeah, then just
Yeah.
having word should really be Skyward because it's Shemaim in
Yeah.
Okay, so making sure.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the pre-sub, right?
Oh yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that
Creek
have
Siv, yeah.
significance?
So I think here.
There's two of them.
Yeah. Oh,
We're doing it to you, right?
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here, my intuition is so there's two possibilities. Either I don't understand the grammatical difference between the Greek sieve, especially by hata'if and hata'uf. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to do that. Or this is the category of the scribal error one. You know that like that the at some point it got copied, like the yud got prolonged or elongated. And vice versa, and so the Gedola fixed it. That's my intuition, but it's possible that it means something else. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll ask it anyway, though. Yeah. Is there any significance to the Creek Sieve? And just to flesh out the question, Rabbeinu Yonah's approach to the Creek Sieve is that it is alluding to like a sub theme or a sub idea or a connotation or something like that, and so that would be the other possibility. Yeah.
The Ayef like conjure up like.
Oh yes, that is interesting. You're correct. Yeah, but Ayef Hashemayim, that might be a possibility, right?
So what's that?
And to become tired, yeah, and especially with the association to Ayef Yagea, right? Yeah, which are two words that we should associate to in Torah. Yeah, Hata'uf. Yeah, good question. There's one person I can look at, maybe. I never exactly know what to do with him. The Minchas, the Minchas Shai, Minchas Shi.
I don't remember.
I don't understand. Oh, is it something? Yeah, I always thought it was ironic that no one knows how to pronounce his name, and he's the guy who does all the like, the things to tell you how to like Minchas Shai, how to pronounce stuff. Lahashir Hata'uf Hata'if Kri. Yauf b'sfarim meduyakim. So it says Yauf in the precise Sfarim. Male vav v'chein I don't know what that is. Mesoras Yechazkel Beis Nimsar He Echol Male v'zeh Echad. Okay, yeah, I don't know what he's saying. That's a different. That's a club that I'm not a part of. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think we can think now. Well, also, I'll just say why specify the nesher, right? Why not just use bird, stam bird analogies? Why the nesher?
Is there an audience in this puzzle? I mean, I'm assuming there is.
Oh yeah,
Is this
yeah.
like an everybody puzzle?
Yeah, who is the audience of this pasuk? This pasuk. Pasuk. Yeah. I will say though, by the way, just to possibly allude to that, to the answer to that. So we saw that the end of Perek Chaf Beis was standing about how to stand before kings. And many of the Mepharshim said kings are rich people, right? Then we had when you sit down to eat with a ruler, which could be a ruler, or we said it could be someone who's powerful. Then we have our pesukim, and then the next pesukim are davka about al tilcham es lechem ra'ayin, bal tisav lamad mosav. Don't break bread with a miser, with someone who's stingy. And this is also like about again, someone who's rich. So it could be what do you call it? It could be talking to that same audience that we've been talking to this whole time. Like the person wants to like ingratiate himself with the rich and powerful, perhaps.
And then we're no longer in the steel of M and Nemhap or whatever, right?
I think we are.
The what?
Are we still in the?
Oh yeah, I think we are. Yeah. I haven't counted the pesukim.
Okay.
When you're 33 years old and you
Yeah.
understand the secret. Yeah. I think we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So ideas. Yes.
There's also another question. Are we being particular to Ashir or just in general? Don't both be doing things, and Ashir is just a good example for it.
That's a good question. Let's add this to. I'm gonna just append this to here. Ashir, and then also, is this davka wealth, or does Ashir include other pursuits? Yeah. Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
Could the id also be understanding?
I don't think so, because the understanding is all binah is also feminine. Yeah.
Oh, idiot.
And it also can't be cessation, because that then wouldn't make sense. Because cessation, actually, I don't know what cessation is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it has to be wealth. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm like noticing about Tiga specifically.
Yeah.
So I think there's a phenomenon that where a person like tries to like grab tightly to wealth.
Mhm.
And I think it's saying if you try to do that, then and like you cast your eyes upon it, whatever that means, then like it's gonna depart from you and you're not gonna get it.
Mhm.
Like because you're like straining to get it.
Okay, that's actually a question that we didn't ask. At least I don't think we asked it, which is, what is the relationship between tiga laha'ashir and hata'if einecha bo, right? Hata'if einecha bo, right? So in other words, you're saying, so how are you answering that question? I think you are answering that question.
Yeah, I'm saying there are two parts of the same phenomenon.
Yeah, right. Meaning that you are, if you are tiga lahashir, then as part of doing that, you're going to be like casting your eyes on it, and it's not going to be there. Yeah, because you could separate it. For example, like let's say, what if you win the lottery? Would that be this pasuk or not? Right?
Yeah.
Because seemingly not, right? Because there you're not being unless you somehow define that as being tiga lahashir,
Or
right?
do, like every single day by like I don't know, it's kind of
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, if you're trying to, so I would say like an example of this might be like trying to figure out like no.
Okay.
And I want to back up that if you were to win the lottery, I think this also could still apply from an understanding that I have.
Okay, so we do have two different
I don't
understandings.
know if it's different, but I think.
Oh no, I would definitely,
You're saying
I
that.
would say definitely not.
Yeah, right. Because that guy's not being tiga lahashir, and again,
Yeah.
unless you define that as buying a
Yeah,
lottery.
like,
I would-
let's say like a person who's like let's say
Or you inherit money, right? I mean,
yeah, inheriting money.
Right.
I also say is not this.
right.
It's specifically you're devotedly pursuing it, and you're directing all of your your intellect like trying to figure out possible schemes to
Right. So you're also, so I'm curious how you're going to say the lottery one. So you're going with, who said that? The Sadigon,
Yeah.
right? That cease from your understanding which you employ for this purpose.
Yeah.
That you're, so instead of, right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with like a lot of that.
yeah.
I think this the only small move I want to make is that the cause and effect between casting your eyes upon it and it being gone is I'm kind of viewing casting your eyes upon it as like fantasizing about it.
That's what I was thinking
So like,
also.
I think that's what will cause it to be gone in the sense that even if you were to win the lottery, right? If all of your fantasies about money is just you can go and just spend it on whatever, you're not gonna get what you think it is.
Right.
You think you're getting like all this great stuff, but in reality, you're gonna do all that stuff and you're gonna feel empty afterwards anyway.
Right.
So that's what I think also toiling and straining to become rich is because you're I guess not because, but I mean it definitely has to do with fantasizing about it. And then you're gonna like really just
Right. So
run after, and you're not using your understanding clearly, because the only way to pursue money and not fantasize about it would be to use binah.
Right. So you're saying then that Dalit is just like a Hechi Timsa, like that's just like a normal case that typically eventuates in this, but you could get this case of through any extreme amount of wealth.
Yeah, but again, I'm kind of seeing the toiling as well as like it's wrapped up in.
Where it's fueling the fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
just to support that.
Yeah.
The end of pasuk hey.
Yeah.
Aso yasa lo kunafan.
Yeah.
It's gonna like your fantasies are always gonna be like
Right.
upwards and
Yeah. I was thinking about that. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good approach. Yeah. Devin.
And I think also going along with all this, that it'll come once you make it there.
Yes.
Like in particular, like that's when
Dafka when you look
once you
look
get
at
your
it.
eyes
Yeah.
there, like
Yeah.
you're here, then it's
Right. Yeah. Because before you get it, it is attainable and you picture a certain type of result when you get it. But then once you get it, then it's receded. It's gone, further out of, once I get this, I'll be rich. But then once you get that amount, then you don't feel rich because you want more. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
There's also then as far as like toiling to get there, which may as well also come from the lottery. But I think also like if you like firmly set yourself as like this is what I'm going to be doing,
Yeah.
then this becomes like the mode that you're operating in.
Yeah.
And then once happens, then
Right.
And then just keep going.
Yeah.
So then what's the from your understanding cease?
Oh, meaning from your understanding of like what money actually is, then you should cease toiling after it and like fantasizing about
Right.
it. And
Right. I mean, once you realize that this is the
money,
nature of money,
yeah.
then you will cease.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it does serve as a double reading because this guy, the fool in the pasuk is employing his understanding only in the how to make the money, but instead he should direct that understanding to what the end is that he's pursuing, and realize what it is. Yeah.
Was it you who said the story about the guy? I think Ryan Moss was talking to. He wasn't Ryan Moss, and he's like, and then what? And then what? It's like soccer play tennis in his backyard. Is it that guy? Was that you who said that story?
I don't think it was me.
There's a story. So one of the or maybe Red Fader or something.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the was talking to a guy, and he was like, "Oh, I want to like sheep or something."
Yeah.
I don't know the exact.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I want to. Oh, what are you going to school for? I'm going to school for X. So that
Yeah.
why? So I can have a good job. So I can make money.
Right.
Why? So that I can live in a nice house. Oh, why? So I can have a nice tennis court in my backyard. Why? So I can play tennis." It's like, so you're going to do
Yeah.
all of these like 10 years of like
Right.
doctor school or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can play tennis in your backyard.
Right.
It's really your whole goal is just
Right.
tennis.
I just read that as this might have actually happened, but I just read that that's it's probably lots of versions of it, but the parable with the fisherman, that who like the guy who just like has a humble job, and like the industrialist comes up to him and tries to like convince him to like start an empire. Like, why don't you monetize this? And then gets to the same point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do something unusual. I feel like this is a very Metzudas David type interpretations. Let's read the Metzudas David and then use that to develop our understanding.
But it's also the understanding of Koheles. Is that?
Yeah. This is a very Koheles Mishlei pasuk. Okay. Al tiga laharbos asik laharbos hon. So he's translating tiga as to basically like ramp up your involvement, your effort, your endeavors to accumulate wealth. Mi midascha chadal rotalamar v'imi bli atzasi. And if it's without my advice, chadal mizeh mi binas atzmecha. Cease from your own understanding. I don't know what he's getting at there. Because what is the benefit of an increase in money? Even if you don't listen to me. Okay. I don't know what he has to say there, but he's saying, even if you cease from understanding, we're just finishing up this Mishlei here. Even if you cease from your own understanding, Oops, sorry. Sorry, even if you don't listen to me, he's saying then you get this on your own, right? Like, don't take my word for it, understand it on your own. Shlomo Melech, I think. Yeah. The pasuk is, do not toil or strain to become rich, from your own understanding cease. If you cast your eyes upon it, it will be gone in the blink of an eye, for it will surely make wings for itself like a griffin vulture that soars heavenward. Okay. Then in the next one, Hata'if Rotalamar Ma Beta Bosher. What profit is there in wealth or in gain? V'chihu davar hamiskayim. Is it going to last? Oh, so that's also different than the way we're taking it. Halop amim avod b'shakala. Sometimes it could be lost in an instant. Odcha minanea inaha listachobo v'ineno. You're moving your eyes to look at it, and it's gone. Ki pitom yovad. It'll suddenly vanish. Ukilu asal atmo katvain. It's as if it made wings for itself. La'uf mimacha chish maher. To fly away from you quickly. The Rambam says in the Moreh Nevuchim that the reason why angels are depicted as having wings is because wings are the most efficient form of motion in the animal kingdom, that it can have instantaneous movement. And so like it's going to use that for I guess instantaneous movement and not knowing where the thing ended up, right? Like it's suddenly like, where did it go? You can't really say that for a cow, because a cow will like wander off slowly and like you'll find it somewhere, but like a bird could be like across the Pacific, Kinesher hazeh hamamaher lauf l'tzad hashmayim, like a bird that is quick to fly heavenward and to be gone from the eye. Yeah, okay. So we have two approaches now, right? We have wealth is fleeting in the sense that it could be lost instantaneously. And then we have our approach, which is that what makes it lost is the fantasy wealth, right? That you think it's going to be a certain thing, and as soon as you get to that thing, then it's not what you expected.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to say that was because, like, even within stuff, he's saying it, but he's not explaining like why that would happen.
Yeah,
like I mean, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense to me. Like they said all the stories about like people who win the lottery and they just blow it all and like
right,
because they don't have a plan for it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the fantasies just like
right. So the thing that is a little dissatisfying about what he was saying, even according to him, it sounds like, is why it says maybe naska chadal. Like it seems very unimportant to him, right? That's saying like, even if you don't listen to my advice, then you get this from your own understanding. Like, can you say that about all of Mishlei? Like, so why emphasize the fact that you can see this on your own? I guess it's saying that it's obvious, but then why would you use the word binah, right? Like it is true that if you look around you, then you see people who lose wealth like really quickly. So it is obvious, but then I don't think you need to use binah.
I would say you never think that you're going to be the one.
That's true. Yeah. So the question is, could you use that as a form of does that merit the use of the word binah? To me it doesn't. But that
do that also.
Yeah.
I find that people always think that they're going to be the exception.
No, I definitely believe that's true. I just don't think that that's what binah is. Yeah.
Understanding that you're not the exception.
Yeah. Binah is, without going into a whole thing about what binah is, of all the terms for knowledge in Tanakh, binah is the one that I think there's the most like consensus on, which is maybe davar mitoch davar, which is arriving at new knowledge from the knowledge that you have, as opposed to chachma, which is applying the knowledge that you do have. That's my favorite mashal, which I always quote, which is on Rashi. Rashi quotes it on Devarim 1:5, maybe. Let's see, 1:5.
You would say new knowledge.
No, not 1:5.
Yourself and realize you're not the exception.
Just 1 second. Yeah, hold on. He says, so Zo Shishal Arius as Rabbi Yossi. So I don't know who Arius is. He asked Rabbi Yossi, Ma bin Chachamim leNevonim. What is the difference between Chachamim and Nevonim? Chacham domim l'shulchani ashir. A Chacham is comparable to a rich stationary money changer. Okay, so the shulchan, he sits at a table. When they bring him coins to examine, then he examines. And when they don't bring him coins, he just sits there and does nothing. Navon, but a navon is doma l'shulchani tagar. He's comparable to a merchant money changer. When they bring him coins to see, he looks at it or he sees the coins. And when they don't bring him coins, maybe he goes and brings out and gets his own business. So like, and if you look through, this is very consistent through all of Mishlei, that the Chacham can't generate new ideas. He just apply ideas that he's received, and the Navan generates new ideas. I actually think we have to end on time today because there's a dorm meeting, right? Yeah. Okay. So that was a definitive. Yeah. All right. So we'll have to explore the two approaches tomorrow and then see what else this brings. Okay. Good. Hopefully you'll remember it. Okay.
Thank you.